Well, good morning again, and today we are talking about habits. Anybody have one of those? I know I do. Not Ruby, she doesn't have any. The joy of living, I think sometimes we begin to do things in a certain way, and of course we continue to do it in a certain way. Now, some of these things are fine, breathing in and out and all that good stuff. But then there's times when we're doing things that actually can be harmful to us, and those are habits that we may want to heal. So a habit is the form that desire takes. Okay, it's the form that desire takes. So whatever your habit is that you have been maybe working on trying to heal or change, then today's talk is for you. And if you don't have that, well, maybe you can share today's talk with a friend. We'll see. But there might be something for you as well. The desire for something that will give you satisfaction. Yes. What is that habit, that desire that is not the best habit to have, but gives you satisfaction? Now, I remember back in my 20s when I was a heavy smoker, and smoking gave me great pleasure. Now, there was a part of me knowing that I probably should quit, but I really didn't want to. I thought I had to, or that I should. Anybody here do should? I should do this, I should do that. Usually when we use the word should, we are in fact having ourselves in a bad position. Sandeepa, you have your hand up. No? Okay. So when we are moving around our life and we begin to take apart some of the things that are giving us a little bit of a problem, shall we say, what we want to do is begin to shift that and change that. Can we make it work more in our favor? So when I was a smoker, it was not something that I thought I should be doing. Bad for my health. I was coughing a lot and things. But I kept doing it. And in fact, I did it so much, I smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day. So that's a habit. It's kind of a bad habit, and it's an expensive habit. I mean, at the time, it didn't seem quite so bad as what it is today, but it was an expensive habit. When it came time to try to quit, I did that, but what happened is I became very angry and a bit of a problem person, especially for my husband and children, and so then I started again. So now I have this moment in my life where I have a spiritual awakening, a spiritual epiphany. And when that epiphany happened, I was still smoking for 1 more week. And it was interesting because the experience was so full, so big. It's like I knew God as love, this energy that poured over me, the feelings that came up inside of me. It just brought goosebumps to every part of my skin. It was a wake up. It's like I'd walked into that experience in complete darkness. And when I left that room that night, I was in complete light. And it was in that light that I began to find myself. I began to find what might be possible for me. And on the Saturday, I had this awareness that if I continued to smoke, I would be carrying an oxygen tank by 40. And immediately I had the thought, this is a temple. It is a temple of the divine, and I don't have the right to kill it. So the next morning I woke up, I had a cigarette with a friend at my coffee break, and then I turned around and I said, that's the last one you'll see me smoke until the next one. And that has been 41 years. And I've never had a craving So how are habits healed? Habits are healed through consciousness. Okay? We all have them. I still have some I'd like to change, but obviously they're not as big as smoking would be, but they're there. So I just want to share some ideas from the science of mind. Ernest Holmes was really, really clear that we really must take the time to explore the consciousness within us. And he talked about giving treatment. So treatment is our way of reconfiguring our consciousness, we'll say. It is our way of moving from what is to something that we would prefer. And so when we're doing spiritual mind treatment, which was created by the Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this teaching, when he created that, what happens is that as you use it, it transforms current reality. It changes everything. So in giving a treatment, what we're doing is we're working in consciousness. So we recognize who and what is going on. So if we're treating for someone else and they come to us and they go, well, I'm gambling, or I'm drinking heavily, or, I'm chewing my fingernails, and that would be me. Then what we do is we sit back and we give treatment. And when I do treatment with somebody, I always ask two questions. What is it that you want, and how would you feel if you had it? And the reason I ask how you'd feel if you had it is that feeling, that's what the desire is after, right? Like, these habits are giving us a gift of some sort. There's something about these habits that are serving us. And so how do we shift and change them? Now, you might have noticed if you read yesterday's daily word or daily reading that I send out, or today's daily reading, you'll realize this is the topic of those two readings. And what I want to do moving forward is bring those Science of Mind readings in and then explore how we make them practical today. So that's what today's little lesson is about, is in giving treatment. So he says in the Science of Mind, in giving the treatment, first recognize who and what they are, saying something like this: they are the full and complete expression of the truth. And as such, they are free from any sense of limitation. They are free from any delusion or fear of delusion. They know that the spirit of truth within them is complete and always satisfied. The thing which calls itself gambling or drinking or eating or nail biting has no power over them and cannot operate through them. By the power of this word, it is now completely destroyed and forever obliterated. We see them free and satisfied. He had a way with words, didn't he? By the power of this word, it is now completely destroyed. When we're doing treatment, we are stating, we are putting into that universal consciousness, not just a suggestion. We're making a demand on the universe. We're making a demand saying, this is what is moving forward. You see, when we clear up our consciousness, when we clear up what we're thinking about, when we clear up some of the things we think and say and do, usually about ourselves, when we clear that up, then we begin to flow more easily and comfortably with this beautiful universe. He says, wait until you come yourself. Are you sure of the statements made, realizing that the work is done? See, that's the other part of it. When we're doing a spiritual mind treatment, when we get to the end of it, we need to feel like it's done. And if not, let us continue. Let us continue with the treatment. Whether we are in the midst of some crisis or we just have a habit we'd like to break, what we want to do is recognize and acknowledge what it really is. A habit is just us expressing a desire that is going to bring us some form of satisfaction. With drinking, it might be forgetting everything that's going on that day. With nail biting, it's like, oh, I'm nervous, There's something about the habits that we have that is serving a purpose for us. So how do we heal the habit? We heal the habit by going within deeply, by acknowledging and recognizing that there's one power, one infinite creator, one divine presence. And that presence is not only where you are, it is being you. You see, we live, move, and have our being in it, not separate from, not different than. It doesn't sit beside us. It doesn't just encompass us. It is being us. You are the manifestation of this divine presence. It's you. What is it that you desire? What is it that would make your heart sing? What is it that awakens you to excitement, delight, and joy? That is where we want to spend our time and energy. We want to look in the mirror and get excited for the new day. We want to look in the mirror and go, yeah, let's do it. Let's take on this day. Let's take on this moment. Let's move forward in the flow of this universal force. There is an urge, Ernest Holmes wrote, there is an urge to express in all people. And this urge, operating through the channels of creative mind, looses energy into action and compels the individual to do something. So as I was working and praying to quit smoking, because back then it was prayer, because I hadn't found this teaching yet. When I was working on that, when I was praying about releasing this habit of mine, this smoking habit, that moment of clarity came in. This is the temple of the divine. I do not have the right to kill it. And when I butted that last cigarette out, I was done. And I was done, completely done. I never touched another cigarette. I never had another craving. And I've never wanted to go back. So the energy that we put towards something really matters. So as Ernest Holmes says, when you're treating, by the power of this word, by the power of this word, by the power of this word, what does that mean to us? We use words all the time. Have you ever got up in the morning and looked in the mirror and gone, oh God, oh no, another wrinkle, oh no, little chubs? What are the stories that you're telling yourself in the bathroom mirror, or when you get dressed and maybe your clothes are a little too loose or a little too tight? What is it you're telling yourself? Because words have power. Words have power. So whether we say our thought goes out and whether we say it is operated upon by principle really makes no difference. It is very evident that until a thought is created, there is no operation. So every single thing that has ever happened in the entire history of this earth has happened because an idea was first formed. That idea then became manifest. It showed up in the world. Everything is an idea first. Now, keep in mind, we live with 8 billion people who all have ideas. The idea that I want to hold in my mind and in my heart is the idea that I am perfect, whole, and complete, that I'm a child of the universe, and that I am able to do and to be whatever it is I choose because the universe says yes to my words. The universe says yes to my words. What are the words you're using that you don't think about? When was the last time you went, oh, I hate it when this happens? We want to begin to explore that inner world that we are creating from, and begin to say to ourselves, I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for you. I was talking with somebody earlier this week and said something like, boy, getting old isn't for the faint of heart. And they turned to me and said, what a blessing to get old, because so many people don't. Right? Because what is the alternative? The alternative to getting old is, of course, death. So let us look at our words. Let us look at the way that we use them. Ernest Holmes said, if a person is sick and they remain sick until someone knows that they are well, it is very evident then that as a result of someone's thinking, they are healed. So I can tell you a number of stories of people I've done treatment for that have had healings that many of us would call miraculous. And really all it is the natural working of the law. You see, we don't get punished for the things that we do, think, or say. However, we must experience the effect. The idea is cause. The manifestation is effect. In between the two of those, the universe is saying yes to what we've put in. What are we putting in? What are we saying about ourselves? What are we saying about others? What are we saying about the world? What are we saying about, I don't know, Rogers, when you phone in and you get put on a permanent hold? What do we say when the car breaks down in the middle of nowhere and we don't have cell service? Like, what are the things that we're saying? And can we please start checking in with that? Can we go within and go, oh, darn it, I did it again. We have these habits that we do, whether it's a habit of speech, a physical habit, a habit of, upset or annoyance. We have habits, and we can heal them. And the way we heal them is through mind. And if you want to learn more about this, join the classes. They'll be starting up again in September, and we go really, really deep into what is and what will be. Yes, habits. The simplest way that the practitioner can experience, because we have practitioners, and practitioners do this healing work with people, but you can use it yourself. You can take treatment and use it yourself and create a beautiful, beautiful life. Whether we say our thought goes out or whether we say it is operated upon by principle makes no difference. It's still operated on. What we believe about life is going to manifest. If we buy into the consciousness of the society we live in, then we will live according to that insight or that awareness. So I invite you today to just sort of release everything. Let go of the blockages and stoppages. Stoppages, there's a new word. Allow yourself to just let go. Like Karen Drucker sang before, surrender, surrender, surrender. Surrender means I go within and I allow the very depth of me to be realized. The depth of me to be realized. Yes, I invite you to go there. So it is. Namaste.